Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I have some really good stuff for you guys today. We're gonna be talking about how to build the ideal resume for tech jobs or the tech industry in general. Yeah, it all starts with a resume. I spoke to a bunch of recruiters from Google, Microsoft, and Amazon in the Seattle area, and they all said very similar things about how to build a resume. So in no particular order, I'm going to be talking about like some red flags, things you should absolutely not do on your resume, green flags, things you should do, general outline, some tools you need to know to build a very good resume. Stick around for that one. And what recruiters find most important on your resume. Let's get into it without wasting time. I drew out this outline for you guys to see. Feel free to take a screenshot, but I'm going to be going over it section by section and talking about what things mean here. So the most important thing recruiters look at in your resume when they first get it, before anything, even though you're a student, you are a new grad, post grad, whatever you are, the first thing they look at is your experience. So if you look at this section A, right here, it is your experience. It's one of the most important sections on your resume. And there is a guide to how the tech industry wants you to convey your experience to them on your resume. Let's start with the grammatical structure of your experience. First, you should start with an action. I built, I created, I led, I drove. Start with a verb. What did you do? That verb describes something, right? I built an app, for example, using X in the X section right here. It could be using a programming language, using Python and Java. That led to X. They want to see impact. You start with action, X, using X that led to X. What did you do? What did you use? And what was the impact? And the main thing here is don't overcrowd your experience. You can have like 2 or 3 experience depending on how many years you have worked. And each of them should be 2 to 3 bullet points max. Like no one is out there reading the whole novel. If your resume takes someone more than like 5 minutes to understand, then you might want to, clean up that resume, make it 1 page. If you don't have more than 5 years of experience, your resume should not be more than 1 page. Experience, then projects. Because people always ask me, how would I get experience if I've never got a job before? And this is very common with students. If you're a student, this part, the project section, is the most important section in your resume. You have to have something to show. Say for instance, you are a student in your 2nd year or in your 3rd year, the project section is like one of the most important sections for you. And the same thing with experience, right? You build something with X that led to X. So maybe the impact part of that is less important because as a student, maybe you're building projects for your class, but if your project has shown some type of impact, it's very important that you mention it there. You have to describe it in such a way that it conveys how important that tool was. And same thing with the experience, 1 to 3 bullet points for each project that you have. Generally, you want to have like 1 to 3 projects and 1 to 3 experiences. The next section is the skill section, which is very, very important for a tech industry resume. You want to have skills that you can show, right? You want to have a tool. This tool can be a programming language. It could be soft skills. You can say you have very good documentation skills. That's very important. I think documentation is something that they love to see. So if you have good writing skills, that's something you should put down in your skills section. Keep it realistic. Keep it honest. Don't just go put something that like they would doubt you have as a, new grad or something. So keep it realistic. And next is education section. Highlight your school, of course, your degree, your GPA, and your honors. And always make sure you include dates. Date your experiences, date your projects. Don't date your skills because that can be dated per se, but date your education as well. It helps them understand your career path. Very important. Make sure you pay attention to that. Then also include your awards, scholarships, recognitions, employee of the month, student of the month, any award you can ever think of. Put it on your resume. It goes a long way. It says so much about you. If you got employee of the month, it might mean you're hardworking, you're dedicated, and of course, employees want someone who's hardworking. So that's going to give you an extra advantage. And next, the extracurricular activities. Sports are very important because sports show teamwork, especially if it was a team sport like soccer. Put your sports down because it just shows how disciplined and how much team spirit you have. Also put down hobbies if they are related to the job. And of course, your name. Your name should be at the top of your resume, your contact information. You don't need to put your full address, but you can just put your city, your email, and whatever contact information you have. If you have a GitHub account that shows all your projects, your personal websites, your portfolio, link them in your documents, because like if they want to learn more about you, that's a good place for them to start. They can easily like go to your link and just see all the work you've done, and that speaks a lot louder than just a one-page resume. Not everything can fit in a one-page resume, but if you add links, then they can see more of what you've done, even though it's just one single page. Next, let's talk about some red flags. Some things like you don't want to do. You don't want to like show on your resume. First thing I'm going to talk about is job hopping. Job hopping could show you have lots of experience, right? But it could also make the employee feel that you're not going to be there for a long time, which they don't like. They don't want people who just come and leave after 3 or 4 months. So be careful with job hopping on your resume. Next is typos. Don't have typos on your resume. Literally, you shouldn't have any typos because you're applying for a job that's probably very, very competitive. So a single typo honestly could make them not pick you. So make sure you check all the grammatical errors so you don't have a typo on your resume. Next is irrelevant experience. Don't put things that are not directly related to the job on your resume. That brings us to number 4, which is lack of customization. Customize your resume for each company. You're applying for a job, say for instance, cybersecurity. You want to put all the cybersecurity related experience you have on your resume as well. So make sure you customize your resume, your achievements, your projects, your skills to the particular company and the particular job you are applying for. Unexplained gaps. Make sure you date your resume and kind of like explain when there are gaps in your resume. Too much design. Number 6, keep your resume simple. Like keep it minimal. I'm going to link some resume templates in the description below for y'all to see. If you are a designer, user experience designer, or a front-end engineer, then you might want to have a more elaborate and quotes resume. But generally, you don't want your resume to be distracting. Avoid putting your picture there. One, because depending on the company you apply to, they can be biased against you based on your picture. I mean, they could be like, we don't want to hire a woman, or we don't want to hire a black person. Green flags. We all love green flags. Subscribe to my channel. That is a green flag. That's a huge green flag for me. And like this video because it helps the algorithm know that you're enjoying this video and helps recommend it to other people. Green flag number 1, subscribe. These are things recruiters absolutely love. Quantifiable achievements. They want to see impact. What did you do? I improved efficiency by 20%. I mentored 10 girls. I solved 20 bugs. I fixed 3 issues. Make sure you quantify your achievements. Show impact. Show metrics. People in the tech industry love metrics. They love to see numbers. Make sure you quantify your achievements. Also, keep your resume short and sweet. The general rule of thumb is that if you have less than 5 years of experience, your resume should be 1 page, period. Unless you have a PhD or some form of advanced degree that you need to fit all your achievements in 2 pages. Keep it short and sweet. Remember that people reviewing your resume most times are human beings. They have so many resumes to review. They are reviewing thousands of resumes. You want to make it easy for them. If not, they're just gonna like throw your resume in the trash. 4, add dates. Dates shows trajectory. Date your experiences, date your projects. If you're consistently taking on more challenging projects every year, it shows growth. The hiring manager is more likely to pick you because they know that when you join, you won't be afraid to take on more challenge or more challenging projects. Tailor your resume to the particular job description you are applying for. I think if you have relevant experience and you follow the exact format or guide that I provided, you have an almost perfect resume. Okay, let's talk about some tools. The tools that you need to build a good resume. I really cannot get over Canva. Canva is one of the best apps out there. It's very good for building resumes. Just go online, go to canva.com and type software engineering, product management resumes, and you would see a bunch of templates out there. Like, it's better than Microsoft Word. I used to use Microsoft Word to design my resume and build my resume, but when I found out about Canva, I stopped. It's also very easy for you to edit and modify the text and move the lines in Canva compared to using Microsoft Word. So use Canva to build your resume. I 100% recommend. Number 2, use AI, ChatGPT, Gemini. Use those tools to correct any grammatical errors you have in your resume. Google Docs is great. I recommend putting your resume on Google Docs as well. So it's always very easy to access if you have a Google account. It's always there on the cloud. If you have your phone, you can have the Google Docs app and just like put your resume on there. And next is LinkedIn Resume Builder. This is like a fairly new tool that not many people know about. You can also directly upload it to your LinkedIn account as well. Highly recommend using LinkedIn Resume Builder as well as all these tools to build the perfect resume for you to get that tech job. Make sure you follow all these guidelines, and I promise you, the hiring managers and recruiters in the tech industry would love your resume. Follow these guidelines to give your resume the makeover that it deserves. To all you all applying for jobs out there, don't give up, keep pushing, keep doing the little things, starting with your resume, build the perfect resume, interview, and get that dream job that you always wanted. If you have any questions about resumes, any suggestions, any ideas, any improvements, any feedback from me, put them in the description below. You got this, go out there and kill it. See you on my next video.